Hi everyone, this is Penny from Wacko Witch Astrology, and today we are here to talk about Moon in Scorpio. So I already have a series about the moon signs and how it affects emotional processes and coping, but this one is more about the profound impacts that it has on your life, your childhood, and your adulthood. So Moon in Scorpio is one of the placements we think of and we just instantly know that there is something heavy there in their heart, something that they dealt with that they might not want to talk about. And Scorpio is also a very secretive sign. So not every single person I know who has Moon in Scorpio is someone who feels comfortable opening up to me. But I know enough of them that I know they tend to have some very traumatic things that they had experienced when they were young. And the big keyword for the path of Moon in Scorpio, not necessarily life purpose, because that's a different thing and that's more of a math equation that comes from putting all of the pieces together, but the life path and the thing that all Moon and Scorpio people tend to have in common is that they have this blessing that they are able to transform their situation so much. I would even say that transformation is like a superpower to them. I'm gonna go ahead and take off my glasses because I don't like, you might have noticed the circle in my glasses. I don't like it either. It's from my light. So hopefully this will look a little better. I feel like I look weird without my glasses, you know, it's unnatural because I have bad vision. But anyway, so Moon and Scorpio people, I've heard some very dark stories about things that have happened to them when they were young. And what blows my mind so much is how they're able to turn their life around, how they're able to come back from a bad situation and make life different. Because so many of us, we get stuck in these ruts, myself included. I'm a lunar Capricorn. And I tend to get stuck in ruts. It's so hard for me to, make a change, get out of a bad loop, get out of a bad pattern. And I feel that Moon and Scorpio people are usually fairly good at recognizing the patterns and being like, okay, I don't like this cycle and I need to break it. And what's really cool is it gives them what I would think is an impressive ability to overcome generational trauma. And especially if they themselves have kids, they're usually able to give their kids like so much more than what they themselves had. And it's not necessarily like more financially, more money, more toys. It's more compassion, more patience, more time, more of those deep emotional needs that can be glossed over sometimes, especially in modern life and modern day society. A lot of people just act like they don't need those things. So, like I said, Moon and Scorpio is pretty good at recognizing patterns and turning them around. But you probably notice in your 20s, you have a lot of trial and error with that. You might feel that you have made some of the same mistakes your parents have made. But the good thing is that you recognized it. And usually when you recognize it, you're able to turn it around and you're able to make better decisions and create the life for yourself that you actually want to create. So Moon and Scorpio is really good of being aware and for the most part seeing those toxic patterns. But where Moon in Scorpio also has a blind spot is that they often try to bury emotions. And specifically, I think you guys tend to bury your own needs a lot. Just basic needs like needing some time alone, needing affection, needing someone to talk to. You bury that so much that you might not even realize it's there. You might not even realize that you're hurting yourself by not letting yourself have these things. And then you perpetuate that. And then negative energy can start to bottle up inside you, form like a ball of negative energy. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of anything more dramatic to say. Just a ball of negative energy that's been bottling up for a while. It's been accumulating, getting bigger and bigger and worse and worse. And it starts to like seep out of your pores and seep into the room all around you. And that's when you might accidentally take out your anger, your frustration, your hurt feelings, your loneliness, whatever that pain is. You might take it out on other people without intending to. But you've probably been on the other end of that before. You've had people take out their baggage and put their negative energy onto you. You've had so many people do it probably that you found it harder to find people who didn't do it. That seemed to be the more rare thing. Trying to find a relationship partner who just doesn't like inject you with all of this negative energy. Trying to find relationships in general that aren't full of negativity has been a struggle for you. So you don't, like, at least the Moon and Scorpio people I know, they don't want to put this onto anyone else. They don't want to be that person. And because they have the awareness of it, they usually find some way to correct themselves. Even if it's like locking themselves in a room for a day and not letting themselves interact with anybody else, even if it's something kind of extreme like that. But your refusal to put up with toxic situations as if it's the norm is a good thing, and it keeps things moving for you, and it keeps you out of some of these bad situations. But I would say another part of your path is realizing that you do have needs, unearthing those, and making sure that they're being met so that you can take care of yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's important, so stop acting like it isn't. But yeah, so you can take care of yourself. And the power of transformation, it's something that you can use for so many different purposes. And I think having deep relationships with people is another part of your path as a Moon and Scorpio person, which does require you to be able to trust not just other people, but also being able to trust yourself and not hating yourself, not telling yourself that you're a bad, awful person who needs to stay alone for the rest of your life. You have to forgive yourself. I feel like you guys are usually pretty good at forgiving other people, like a heck of a lot better than I am. And I don't know how you're so good at forgiving yourself. I mean, you're so good at forgiving other people, but you're not forgiving of yourself, and you just, I feel like you constantly try to punish yourself, constantly try to beat yourself up. And you might not be hurting yourself in the physical world. Some of you are, like, even if it's by accident, like, I feel like just like, it'll vary, like, especially depending on your Mars sign, it'll vary how you like accidentally or hurt yourself, whatever it is, it'll vary. I feel like you all do it in some way. You guys are just, constantly hurting yourself instead of having compassion for yourself, listening to yourself, listening to your own needs, and all of those things. So anyway, I hope that helped. If you or someone you know needs a reading, you can check the link in the description below, penny-astrology.com. That's where I am. I have a service called Ask Penny. You can ask me any question you want, and I can use either tarot or astrology to answer those questions. So also make sure you're following me on Facebook if you want to see horoscopes, because I try to do that fairly often, sometimes successfully, and sometimes life gets chaotic. But anyway, thank you for being here anyway. Bye.